ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वर वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर सरस्वती गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोन्दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतलेशपते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी चारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवाद पश्चात्। Thank you very much for coming and attending the Sunday Feast program of ISKCON Farmington. Grateful. Actually, we're at a wonderful junction of the year. We just finished Krishna Janmashtami, Sri Krishna Janmashtami. And then next day we celebrated Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, the founder Acharya for ISKCON and BBT. And we are proceeding towards the Radhashtami, goddess of devotion and mother of the universe, Radharani's appearance day. So, thank you very much for coming. And Krishna appears in one day of Brahma. There are so many universes. Koti Brahmandaki Adipati Lalaki. So how many Brahmandas are there? The biggest number in Vedic culture is 1 crore. That's why they mention it as Koti. Not that it's only 1 crore. Unlimited number of planets. What has amazed the scientists was the number of what has amazed the scientists was a huge vast number of planets. Unlimited number of planets. Wherever you go, planets were there. Wow. If the creation is so vast, what about the intelligence of the creator? You know, so for Bhakti tradition, God is a person and it is Krishna. So Koti Brahmandaki Adipati Lalki, he is the creator and owner and maintainer and destroyer of all these universes. That person, because so many, like you have so many offices, what you will do? You'll go in one office, stay there for some time, you'll go to another office, stay there for some time, another office. Likewise, you'll travel and you'll cover all the offices. I know some CEOs who do that. They regularly tell me that I'm going this time here, this time here. So Krishna also, he wants to ensure, things are going on very well. So he goes and stays in one universe for 125 years. Then he goes to the next universe like that. So, and we saw that last week. So 5,000 years ago, Krishna appeared on this planet. Sahasriga Paryandam Hariyad Brahmano Vidu Ratriga Sahasrantam Tehoratri Vidojanam. So one day of Brahma, 1,000 Divya Yugas is one day time of Brahma. And 1,000 Divya Yugas is night time of Brahma. Krishna appears only in one time out of 1,000 Divya Yugas. By our good fortune, 5,000 years ago, Dwapara Yuga, Krishna appeared. Usually Dwa means 2, 3 means Treta, 3 means 3. When Krishna comes, Dwapara Yuga, second will become third, and third will become second. That is a sign. Vishnu incarnation is not coming, but the source of Vishnu, Krishna, is coming. Only that time only they interchange. So when Krishna comes, the immediate Kali Yuga, the the combination Yugal Rupa, Dvaya Rupa of Radha and Krishna, Lord Chaitanya comes. Two, Krishna comes only one purpose, to reclaim the conditioned souls back to the spiritual world. But 5,000 years is a very big thing actually. So the Lord Chaitanya, Kali Yuga means very degraded age. So Lord Chaitanya comes for that purpose. When Lord Chaitanya comes, the doors for Golok Vrindavan are open. And any little interest you show to obtain that mercy, and if you stay on that boat of that mercy, you'll be taken back to spiritual world. That is the main reason for Lord Chaitanya's advent. So what we should understand when you come here, my presence, I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. My presence in this world is temporary. Like this. 1896 to 97, a holy man with a holy mission, Srila Prabhupada. So you put Prabhupada name and put your name. And you know this, you don't know this. How many of you agree? You know the birth date, manufacturing date, but you don't know the expiry date. But what is very important, there is a dash. How do you fill your life with dash? That will decide your quality of life. If you fill your dash with trying to improve your facilities, trying to improve your sense enjoyment, trying to improve your mental enjoyment, mental happiness, intellectual happiness, I am honest with you, you'll be frustrated. I understood this verse recently after so many years of reading it and quoting it. Dharmasthana stita pumsam vishwaksena kadasuya na utpadayati yati ritim sramevi kevalam. Simple translation of this verse: you're an engineer, you're a doctor, you're a professor, you're working very hard for your money, and if that is not triggering pleasure to listen to Krishna, it is a waste of time. I also used to work very hard, sometimes up to 10 o'clock in the night. Some years in Singapore and some years in America. Sometimes I think of it, that money is not there, but the time is gone. So, if that thing has a triggered interest to learn about Krishna, interest to question about yourself, hey, where did I come from? Where will I go? Otherwise, always let me learn a new software. One day, you will accumulate $1.5 million, but you are 65 years old. And all your relatives are gone. Fear starts. This $1.5 million will not make you happy. But that fear keeps on bugging you. What will happen? What will happen? If you're in 20s, you can't understand my question because you're not 60. If you're 50s, you'll understand my point. How many of you agree? 50s or 40s at least. But 20s, you think that is very far. Sir, it is not very far. You all studied for 20 years, 16, 20 years. But you turn back, that 20 years appears like a flash. How many of you agree at least now? It appears like a flash. Now some people, you are a very fortunate soul. Some people think, let me work very hard on my children. I didn't practice ice hockey. I didn't practice that hockey, this hockey. Let me experience the same thing through my children. Let me bring them up. Then I'll become Krishna conscious. One day your child will come and say, Dad, I got the job, I'm going. Your daughter will come and say, Mom, Dad, I got married, I'm going. You turn back, this 25 years appears like a flash. Sundar Prabhu, you agree? No, his children are, they're becoming doctors, somebody left already. You agree or not? Yeah, it appears like a flash. In other words, we live only few moments. So, ladies and gentlemen, how we fill our dash, that will decide our next life. That will determine our quality of life in this life. One gentleman in India was spiritually not lazy, but spiritually very active. Lord Chaitanya came for only one purpose, to take Narsingadev came to protect Prahlad, Vamadev came to take everything from Bali Maharaj and give it to Devatas, Indra. Lord Chaitanya came feeling sad for the plight of the conditioned souls. Living birth out birth. After 5 years, I'll be happy. After 10 years, I'll be happy. You'll never be happy, but you leave the world. Lord Chaitanya felt very sad and said, he came for one purpose, take everyone back to Godhead. Everyone back to spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. That is Lord Chaitanya's mission. He is also Krishna, not just Krishna's incarnation, combination of Radha and Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha, Krishna nahi anya. So he came for only one purpose. If you're ready, he'll take you back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada was in Jhansi. Prabhupada said, aggressively preaching, we're not the bodies, but spirit, soul. And this world means there is old age, disease, death, and bacteria. Nobody is permanent here. No relationship is permanent here. You should go back to spiritual world. And that person asked, what is spiritual world? Part of Vaikuntha, topmost planet, Golok Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya came to speak about it. Then this person said, after staying there, can I come back? Said, you cannot come back. In the winter, when degrees, there is like a 5-degree Fahrenheit in Michigan. And somebody says you can go to Florida. And the temperature is 70 degrees. You say it's 70 degrees, but I want to come back because my family is here. Even though temperature is 5. Prabhupada is telling, once everything is happy there, the conditioning is there. Can I come back? Prabhupada said, Yadgatva na nivartante tadham paramam. Having gone there, nobody returns. Because this place is temporary. If you come back to see your family, nobody will be there anyway. Yes or no? The travel journey takes like probably some time, and that time everyone is gone. Maharaj Muchukunda returned after fighting for Devatas for so long. But when he came back, generations passed. That surname, that family name was not there. So Prabhupada said, please don't come back. That's why Lord Chaitanya came to take everyone back. So, Srila Prabhupada, one person, all the religions, actually Mark Twain, the famous British philosopher, writer, author, he says, in the area of spirituality, there is only one millionaire. India. There is no second millionaire. In that India, when people don't know how many Vedas are there, how many Puranas are there, how many Upanishads are there. And India was changing before independence. One person was not lazy, spiritually active. He was born under this, this Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya for International Society for Krishna Consciousness and Bhaktivedanta Trust. So, this man has a holy mission. What is that? He wrote a letter to Babu Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India. End of my life, I'm going back to spiritual world. I want everyone to come with me. I want to take people with me. Please fund my program. As usual, India was a secular country. His letter was ignored. So, one day, one astrologer, he saw him and said, I'm trying to present in a nice way. Sir, your pen doesn't have ink. Prabhupada said, what does it have then? Fire. Your pen doesn't have ink, but it has fire. Whatever you write, people read, it will change their life. This is a businessman. Really. So, Srila Prabhupada was born under this tree, 1896. And in a very affluent Bengali Vaishnava family, and father was very happy. India, they as soon as the child was born, they got an astrologer to write his birth chart, and they were very happy. At the age of 70, this child will cross the ocean and he'll become a big exponent of religion, and he'll establish 100 temples, 108 temples all over the world. The Father was very happy. Prabhupada made the whole world Krishna conscious, but his father made him Krishna conscious. The message is, if you want your children, if you want the ultimate good for your children, give them Krishna. That's what Kunti did to Pandavas. So Kunti never thought, as soon as 21, her son becomes 21, he'll become emperor. But she never thought what will happen to him. But unknowingly, she trained Pandavas to take shelter of Krishna, which became the saving grace later. Otherwise, you have to become an emperor. But can you imagine, your wife is, somebody was trying to make your wife naked before 40,000 people. They were trying to cheat you in the game of dice. You had to go to forest. Finally, you had to end up in a war. You say, I don't want to become an emperor. You will end up his life, your life actually. Because Kunti trained her children to take shelter of Krishna, that became a saving grace for them and for her. So Srila Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan Dev, trained Srila Prabhupada. He trained him in Radha Krishna worship. He gave him a mridanga, taught him mridanga. And his mother, this is 1896, India was ruled by British. His mother said, my son should go to London and become a lawyer, attorney. Prabhupada's father said, I don't want my son to go to West and pick up the alcohol, pick up the bad habits of alcoholism and, pick up a Western lady. And I don't want him to fall down that way. Rather, I want my son to become famous as a spiritualist. Because the father was dominant. So Prabhupada never came to London to study. So the point is, Prabhupada would get up in the morning, he would wake up to the ringing bells of his father. Ting, ting, ting. He would see his father worshipping Radha and Krishna. It made an impression on his mind. So all the children went upstairs. So they don't know anything. That time we are unzipping their brains and pouring Krishna. One day this will help. When they go to college, when they are in dorms, people are doing wrong things. Something inside them will tell, I should not do wrong thing. That's what we are trying. When they don't know anything, we are trying to unzip their brains and pour Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada's father, he taught him Mridanga, and he gave him Radha Krishna deities actually. And Srila Prabhupada even conducted a Rath Yatra at the age of 5. And he joined college. He was 1 year junior to Subhash Chandra Bose. But he also liked Gandhi's movement. He joined Gandhi's movement of freedom struggle. But what changed his life was his meeting with this guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Lord Chaitanya came 5,500 years ago, and there is a prediction. Lord Chaitanya said, Prithvi ache yatanagranadigram, sarvatra prachara bhavivo moranam. Every town and village, my name will go, and my teachings will go, but teachings of Bhagavad Gita also will go. He said that. So, in that lineage, so many disciplines, so many gurus, they're all from the spiritual world. But by the time Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came, the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur on the altar, it was almost 450 years. Forget about the movement going all over the world. It did not even spread, to the remotest parts of India. So what he did, what is the process of purification, process of self-realization in the age of Kali Yuga? Harinam Sankirtan. Narayana Upanishad says that. Narayana Upanishad mentions, you want to attain self-realization. What is this process? Kalau tad harikirtanat kritaya dhyayata vishnum tretayam jishito makayat mahaprabhu pracharyayam. Kalau tad harikirtanat. You want to attain, you want to remove all your impurities in your heart and attain the realization of the self. What is the process? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. The process is Harinam, Hare Krishna mantra. Lord Chaitanya, as the Yuga Avatar, he brought it, but someone has to spread it. So what he did, for the movement to establish, it would not establish by the power of money or manpower. It would be established by only one power. What is that? Power of purity. What he did, he remained an Ashtika Brahmachari, zero contact with the opposite sex, and he chanted 192 rounds for 10 years. To establish, he prayed for all of us, whom he never met, he would never meet. But he prayed for all the people to come in future generations. You know, the conditioned souls of Kali Yuga being enamored by the effects of Kali Yuga, social media, this, YouTube. So people will be taught even universities. People will not have any goal. Goal is like, make money and be happy. That's it, sense enjoyment. But that is not the goal of life according to Bhagavad Gita. So what he did, but they will not have immense strength to even practice it. So let me pray for them. Sometimes a mother prays for the children. Aman, if I agree. My child, please. That prayers only will be the saving grace for the child. Likewise, he as the prominent guru of the time, he prayed every day 100 by chanting 192 rounds. And what he did, then he started preaching. Please, whoever you are, take up the process of Harinam. You'll go back to God. Srila Prabhupada, as a 1 year junior in the Scottish Church College, one of his friends, Narendra Malik, said, Abhay Babu, his name is Abhay Charan, parents gave that name. Abhay Babu, let us go and meet this Sadhu. Prabhupada said, these are all bogus, I don't want. No, this Sadhu is different. No, these are all bogus, I don't want. His father, Prabhupada says, you should hear this. People, when sadhus come to his home, his father, a very affluent man, rich man, he would feed sadhus in his home. And he would give little dakshina also after feeding them. And he would ask only one thing. Please bless my child Abhay, that he receives the grace of Radharani. May Radharani bless him. That what blessing you want? The sadhus would ask. Please bless my child Abhay Babu, that he received the grace of Radharani. That's it, nothing else. Likewise, his father made Abhay receive so many blessings from sadhus. That's why our parents' prayers actually will nourish us. Sri Ram Raksha. So he said, no, I don't want to. Finally, this is Voltadanga Junction Road. To please his friend, Prabhupada went and as they were settling down, they were very young, 1922, said, you young Indians, why don't you preach the message of Lord Chaitanya, the pure bhakti message? Prabhupada became upset. That time his name is Abhay Charan. But we came to your temple first time, we don't know you, we don't know anything here, and you are giving us an instruction. And we are not even settling down. And he said, who will listen to the message of Lord Chaitanya? Who will listen to the India's message of Bhagavad Gita? First, as a Gandhian, he said, India should get independence. Then people will listen to the message of India, or message of Lord Chaitanya. Saraswati Thakur is a very, very powerful Simha Guru. He said, politics means donkeys will go and horses will come. People are never changed by politics. Internal transformation never comes by politics or changes in the political arena. Krishna consciousness is an emergency. People are dying without Krishna. So, preaching of Krishna consciousness doesn't depend on any political situation. Wow. He also responded in the same demeanor. And he said, wow. So Prabhupada felt defeated, but he liked it. This person, the bhakti tradition of Lord Chaitanya is in the safe hands of this wonderful sadhu. He there and then he accepted him. And Prabhupada was becoming interested to pursue Gandhi's movement of freedom struggle. His father saw that. My son is slowly, Prabhupada finished his education, but he is slowly drifting away and joining the hands with the freedom fighters. So what he did, in order to distract him, Prabhupada's father got him married. He got him married, he was married, and marriage means immediately children will come. Prabhupada, many people don't know, Prabhupada had 6 children. And the last child was autistic, Prayagraj. And he introduced, Prabhupada got a small job, and to pursue his business, Prabhupada went to Allahabad, Prayag pharmacy, and to cut the story short, 1933, 11 years later, 1922, he met him, and 33, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to Allahabad, and Atulananda Brahmachari, he requested Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, this person, Abhay Babu, wants to get initiated. And before that, Prabhupada went to one time to Vrindavan Yatra. That day, everyone was there. Bhakti Pragyana Keshav Maharaj, he made an announcement that day. Today we are all going to see, Seshasai Vishnu temple. But today also, our Guru Maharaj Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur will give a lecture. Those who want to go and see the temple, go. But those who want to listen his lecture, listen. Prabhupada, is a businessman, very busy. He would not get time to even come. He thought, what will I go and see the temple? We'll see a deity standing there. I don't get so much of, I don't understand anything. But if you really want transformation, 3 things you should do. Hear. That's it. What is that? Listen. Shravanam. Everyone is coming and going. But Prabhupada was sitting. And the Saraswati Thakur observed that. So when his name came for initiation, and he said, yes, I have noted. He is a good listener. I'll initiate him. And he was initiated and got the name Abhay Charana Das. Prabhupada was initiated. Cats and dogs cannot take Guru. Only advanced human beings take Guru action. I came to America January 1st of 2001. I attended a program in New York. I sat next to an Afro-American in New York City. And I asked him, hey, what's your name? He asked me, what is your name? I told my name. And I asked, what is your name? He said, my name is Surya Das. He said, you're initiated? Who is your guru? He said, Bhakti Tirtha Swami. How old are you? 21. I said, this is my culture. In New York City, you are falling better than me. I'm already 30, but I'm not even initiated. That day I resolved, I should also get initiated. And I'm seeing him in New York City as a Shikha also. And I'm from India, no Shikha. Nice crow. He's wearing dhoti, I'm wearing pant. So I felt I was bogus. He has a tilak on his face. So I said, Prabhupada, this person is great. Actually, needless to say, I attended Prabhupada program in 1st, 2nd Avenue. The first temple Prabhupada started. That was my first program in America. And of course, that time I didn't know. I'll join full time and I'll get initiated later. So the point is, we should have a spiritual master. That day I resolved. Everything starts with a desire. Those of you coming first time should have a desire. Cats and dogs cannot take Guru. Only advanced human beings. Brahmana Brahmate Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. Once you leave this body, in this Brahmanda, where you will go, we have no idea. But if you get connected to a Guru, like Srila Prabhupada, in this moment, again, you're tagged. That connection, the tag is never lost. So Srila Prabhupada got the name Abhay Charana Das. His name is Abhay Charan. Saraswati Thakur added Aravinda, So to cut the story short, how much can I tell? This is like a 9-volume Leela Amrita, and I cannot finish in just 1 hour, But one thing I can tell you, Prabhupada life, what I have taken as a positive attitude, confidence and determination, and patience. That's what I want to tell today, because this story is very long. If I want to tell that, I have to go fast. I have to fast forward. And one day he wrote a letter to his guru. I'm a married man. I want to serve you. He understood my guru is very powerful. For you to know, Saraswati Thakur is actually directly from spiritual world. Associate of Rupa Manjari, Radharani's Sakhi. So he's from spiritual world. My guru is very advanced. So he wrote a letter. Guru Maharaj, I want to serve you. But you are always surrounded by sannyasis and brahmacharis. As a grihastha, I cannot serve you. How can I please you? The reply came. That time Saraswati Thakur was in Puri. He responded, Abhay Babu, if you have money, read books. If you have time, preach in English language. That will do good to you and the world. This is the first instruction he got. This is the last instruction he got. In between, one day Prabhupada went to Radhakund with his son. I don't know whether I mentioned it. I don't know, it's not. And after he was initiated. He was initiated in 1933. Saraswati Thakur left 1936, December 31st, or you can say January 1st of 37. 4 years only Guru lived. But when he met there on the bank of Radhakund, he got only 2 instructions. Abhay Babu, if you have time, preach in English language. If you have money, print books. Only 2 lines, not that he didn't discuss elaborately. Prabhupada also told Ambarish Prabhu, the great grandson of Henry Ford, in Detroit Temple. Prabhupada said, there is a prediction. It will be a wonderful temple. It is mentioned. So we are planning to, which will manifest in Mayapur. So some Americans asked, who will build it? Prabhupada said, Ambarish build it, we'll build it. Everyone laughed. It's like a joke. Prabhupada did not give him 2-3 hours. Ambarish Prabhu, you build. His name is Alfred Ford, great grandson of Henry Ford. Prabhupada didn't even say that. He said, Ambarish will build it. Everyone laughed. But Prabhupada went to Mayapur, he made the foundation, and 1 year later he left the world. Ambarish Prabhu took it, life and soul. Guru Maharaj, when he made that statement, he was only 23. 60 years, 40 years later, he became 65, 70. With all the money in the bank, what is the use? Once you touch 50, you cannot eat more than 2-3 chapatis. You cannot eat more than 2-3 chapatis. But my guru gave me that instruction laughingly. So from his pocket, he put $25 million, going all over the world begging, give money to build that $100 million temple. He understood. How many of you are working in the Ford Motor Company? That's what he's doing actually. Going all over the world. From his pocket, he put $20 million. Why? Yasya prasada bhagavad prasado yasya prasada nagati kutopi. If Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Guru is not pleased, Krishna is not pleased. So why I am telling this is Prabhupada, that 2 lines, Abhay Babu, if you have money, print books, you have time, preach in English language. Prabhupada took it like a life. Between this picture and this picture, I don't have time. But you know what he struggled? How much he struggled. Every day morning we say Guru Puja. We have probably 800 temples. But it did not happen overnight. Like a lottery win. He struggled. If you have money, print books. By the power of providence, time. Eventually left the family and came to Vrindavan Vamsi Gopal temple. He did a person who ran Prag Pharmacy, whose clients were Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, the future Prime Minister of India, now did not have 25 pies, 2 dhotis, but heart was filled with the Only one thing. I will do anything to please my Guru Maharaj. He would write articles, and in the night, there were no computers, all these nice buttons. Remington type machine, they are very soft keys. Before that, tuck, tuck, tuck. This god of Vamsikopal temple, people come to Vrindavan to die. This person is also old. But this man is with a mission. In the night, everyone sleeps, he is working. Type machine, typewriter, typing articles, how to change the people's hearts. And he would next day would get up, take a train to Delhi from Mathura. And Delhi train station to the printer, he did not have a 25 paise to take a rickshaw, he would walk. And he would go to the printer, and printer would print it. He will go tea stall to tea stall to tea stall, selling this Back to God magazine for 3 paise. Those days, in 1942, India, cost of the tea was 5 paise. Ladies and gentlemen, Indians had 5 paise to buy a cup of tea and drink. Indians did not have 3 paise to read this magazine and understand the importance of spiritual life. When he would present, he would go door to door. Spiritual life is simple, not easy. Are you willing to face rejection? Are you willing to face adversities? Yes. You will see Krishna. You will go back to Krishna. But if you like a cake walk, Krishna also will consider that as a cake walk. Krishna will not take you seriously. So one day, what we have to go through, Prabhupada went through, that's why we have this comfort. One day, Srila Prabhupada, Delhi heat, he fainted. When Rickshawala picked him up and said, "You looks like you're from a rich family. Hey, who will read all these magazines? Go home. In old age, your children will take care of you." No. If anyone reads for the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada mentions, one person becomes a pure devotee. My endeavor of translating this book, writing this Bhagavad Gita is successful. Only one person. If you want to please Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, "I don't want 10 stars, I want 1 moon." Are you willing to go on the streets and give Bhagavad Gita and present courageously? Hey, you're not the body, you're a spirit soul. One day, because he was going door to door, one person became so upset, released his dog. And his dog came barking and charged Prabhupada. Prabhupada ran away. And next day he wrote an article. What is the disease of the modern man? Is busy. Busy bee. Busy for what? Acquire things. After some time, you leave everything and go to a different place. Don't know where you are going. Don't know when you are going. Don't know how you are going. How many of you agree? Whatever you have, working very hard. 24/7, always say this. 168 hours. You come here for only 1 hour, 2% of the week. This is the only thing that will come with you. 98% will not come with you. But of course, body is there. You need to maintain. That's okay. But if you really understand, this is the thing that will come with you. Your investment here will be more. How many of you agree? Naturally. Then one day one person said, these magazines people will trash. You write books. I thought Krishna is telling me, wow. Then he started translating Bhagavad, which he continued till the last day of his life. And is it easy? Translating someone, you need money, somebody to print it. India changed not only these days, India changed in 1942. Nobody was there to print this book. But anyway, with great difficulty, he happened to meet Srimati Morarji. She said, all right, Swamiji, don't worry, you keep on writing, I'll print it. But I have to mention this. First volume he wrote it, he translated. But he needed money to print. Somebody said, Hanumat Prasad Bodhar in Gorakhpur is a very pious man. But that time he saw his money, 180 rupees. Took a train from Vrindavan to Mathura to Lucknow to Gorakhpur, meet him, come back. you would spend 130, 140 rupees. What if he doesn't give money? He'll be left with 40 rupees. Sadhu life is not easy. You have to depend on Krishna and lead. But how he is different? He said, I'll take that risk. He took that risk. Anod Prasad Father read it. So this is nectar. I'll sponsor this printing. Thank God. Second volume also. Second volume, he met Sumati Banerjee. She said, don't worry, I'll print. Don't worry, Swamiji, about looking for donors. I'll print any book you write. This is nectar. Cut the story short. He wrote third volume also. But that one, Abhay Babu, take sannyas and preach all over the world. 69-year-old. Time is running out. But Guru's mission. So he went to Sumati Morarji. Actually, you see Krishna's hand in that. If you are sincere, Krishna will help. One day, then Janmashtami, one person came, Mr. Agarwal. He told Prabhupada, my son went to America. He found an American girl and he got married to her. And he ruined our culture. He became, a meat eater and a drunkard, and he got used to all this Western culture. Prabhupada always had to go to America. Prabhupada said, that's why I want to go to America. He is not worried about him. That's why I want to go to America and preach, give this culture. Americans will give this culture all over the world. Prabhupada casually mentioned to one of his visitors in Janmashtami time. In Janmashtami, 5,000 people came. Whatever you spoke, you don't even remember. But that person took it very seriously. He called Gopal Agarwal. We did that festival so many times in Butler, Pennsylvania. At least three years in a row we went there. So Gopal Agarwal passed away recently actually. Gopal Agarwal, I displeased my father by marrying this Western woman and picked up all these Western habits. Let me please my father. And one day Prabhupada opened his his mail. There is a visa from America. He did not even have a passport. So to cut the story short, one day Sumati Maharaji was going home and she turned back on the steps. Somebody was sitting. She asked her secretary, who is that sitting on the stairs? Swamiji has been sitting on the stairs, but these steps of our office past 5 hours. Swamiji, what do you want? I want America ticket. Swamiji, you are very old and America is very cold. You will go there to die. You stay in Vrindavan and write books. All right, come tomorrow, we'll talk. She's a big CEO, owner of shipping company, India Shipping Company. Good friends with Indira Gandhi. And he cannot meet her. So whatever you want to tell, he will tell the secretary will tell her. And whatever she tells him, secretary will come and tell. Prabhupada was frustrated. He said, look, he bypassed him. He ran into the office. Said, one ticket. Swamiji, you cannot make it. You will go to America to die, they are telling. No. He raised his hand and said, no, please, one ticket. All right, Swamiji, go. And then he would stay in India Shipping company, that quarters. Now she agreed, but he needed money. Morning to evening, he would go in Mumbai, begging people little money. For what? Only to deliver people, rescue people from picking up bad habits, show them the path of Krishna so that they will go back to Godhead. That is his anxiety, that is his worry. For the people that he has not met yet. And the India Shipping Company employees would ask, Swamiji, any luck today? Nobody gave anything. Finally, you 4 people gave 10 rupees, 40 rupees. 70-year-old man. One day Bhaktacharya Swami said, how many of you know what Prabhupada went through? Nobody raised a hand. Prabhupada said, you're right. Bhaktacharya Swami said, you're right. Because none of you are 70. You're in 20s and 30s, you don't know what 70 is. Once you touch 60, your sugar levels will go down. If you don't eat, you may faint also. Prabhupada had diabetes actually. 70-year-old man with 40 rupees, putting full confidence, Prabhupada went to Mayapur. Went to his Guru Maharaj Samadhi, prayed, Guru Maharaj, I have no qualification. Please, Guru Maharaj, bless me. Came to Shantipur, prayed to Advaita Acharya, prayed to Lord Chaitanya, prayed to Nityananda Prabhu, because Lord Chaitanya would have discussions with Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya in Shantipur to discuss on the how to spread the movement. So I'm not qualified, no qualification. Cut the story short. He boarded Jaladutta, the ship. I don't know how many of you know Ashish Prabhu. Achyut Garam Prabhu's father was the captain of the ship actually. And after Prabhupada sailed, that ship was decommissioned. It never, that was the last trip actually. Because the ship was too old, they decommissioned that ship actually. He came here like probably 2 weeks ago. So Srila Prabhupada, he had 2 heart attacks, seasickness. More than seasickness is heart attacks at the age of 70. Then he prayed. Then that time Krishna, he had a dream. Krishna appeared, don't worry, everything will be all right. So Prabhupada wrote 2 songs. Markine Bhagavad Dharma. What is that? Krishna Tava Punya Beha Bhai. It's very important, this song, because Radhashtami is coming. E Punya Kori Boha Be Radharani Koshi Habe. If you, oh my dear friend, oh friends, brothers and sisters of America, you want to attain perfection of your life, you will get it only by the grace of Radharani. Take shelter of Radharani. And what another song? Nachao, 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 Prabhu, nachao Srimate. My Lord, you gave me the name, Bhakti Vedanta. I'm coming to America. They don't know anything. India has some, people have some idea. This is America. Yogeshwar Prabhu says, heavily industrialized nation. People are in Rajugun, Tamagun. How can they understand this? So make me dance, Krishna. Bhakti Vedanta Nam Sardakoro Baro. You have given me this name. Please give me strength so that my words will have a penetrating effect on the brothers and sisters of America. Srila Prabhupada is praying intensely. What is his prayer? That these American brothers and sisters give up drug addiction, give up meat eating, give up alcoholism, give up illicit sex, and take up Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead. He doesn't have anything. He did not have any other goal. And was it easy for him once he came to America? One thing that struck me was, as soon as, I have a question for all of you. You had 2 heart attacks. As soon as you reached, what will you say? Is there any doctor? Is there any doctor? Yes or no? No, but in Lilamrita, you don't see that. He was not looking for the doctor anyway, because he had no money anyway. He depended on Krishna. But one thing is sure, he brought this Bhagavatams with him. He brought little cereal, vegetarian by birth, never ate even fish meat or eggs in his life, born in a very traditional family, 70-year-old man. What was the slogan of 1970s? Hippie slogan, never believe anybody above 30. That was the slogan. What is the slogan of hippies? Never hear to anyone and believe them if they are above 30. And Prabhupada is 70. And America was in a Vietnam War. And Americans were hating Vietnam War. And Prabhupada is talking about Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is convincing Arjuna to fight war. I'm serious. I mean, at all the odds. So Prabhupada came to New York. One day we should all go and see that village actually. This is Tompkins Square Park. And very close walkable distance from that is 2nd Avenue, close to Bowery, known for drug addiction and prostitution, this part of city in America, I mean New York. Because Prabhupada was very poor. Why I'm telling this is, to cut the story short, actually, it's very lengthy story, you know. My grand today, Mukund Maharaj. Prabhupada is indirect requesting him. Swamiji months less than that. Already 2 heart attacks, 1 more heart attack will come, nobody knew. Prabhupada said, you are paying 2 months rent. I don't want free of cost. I'm opening an international organization. What is it? I'm opening an international organization. I'll consider your 2 months rent as a membership. And they laughed. So your visa is expiring in very soon, and you're already 70, and you don't even have money to pay the rent. They told, we can pay this rent after 2 months. And Prabhupada is telling, I'm opening an international organization, and I consider this money as your membership fee. Wow. He failed in India for 30 years, not that he started preaching in America first time. He kept on preaching throughout his life. I always say this to devotees. You know, you became a Java programmer. For 30 years, you failed in India. One day you meet your friend. Arey, you became a Java programmer. Come to America, I'll get you a job. You'll ask, which area you'll get me a job? Java programming. I said, definitely not. I want to fail in another new area, not Java. Because Java already failed. How many of you agree? Because every time you join the company, 2 months later, this guy doesn't know Java, they'll get laid off. It happened how long? 30 years. Suddenly your friend says, you come to America, I'll place you. Which company? Which software? Which platform? Java. I said, no. So he failed in India for 30 years. And now he's coming to America to test his waters. That is a determination. That is enthusiasm. Prabhupada never wavered. And Prabhupada, that determination, there is piche modne ka nahi. I will never. Actually, I want to tell one line, you take it home. As long as you keep on trying, there is no defeat. As long as you keep on trying, there is no defeat. Then where is the room for depression? Where is the room for frustration? Keep on trying. Pattar fenkte raho. Then there is no defeat. As long as you don't lose enthusiasm, there is no defeat. But there is a defeat when you give up. Don't give it up. That's what I learned from Prabhupada's life. With 40 rupees in the pocket, there is nobody who were there to convert his 40 rupees into dollars. Prabhupada took that 40 rupees back to India actually, 3 years later. He came in 1968, he took it in 1965, he came, 68, he took it back. But one thing, everything manifested because of his intense faith. We just returned from Florida. They were telling, Prabhupada stood here and spoke. That's why we started a Prasadam distribution program. We've celebrated 51 years. This person from nowhere came. People are telling he stood here. That's why the program is continuing after 50 years also. How many people come and eat average? 1,000 people every day. How many people? So he's standing as a value. He's standing as a value. Means what type of person is he? A man from spiritual world. Purity is the force. Prabhupada said that. What is the force? You want to do something for yourself, for your family and the rest of the world. What is the word? Purity is the. You say, I don't have it till yesterday I was fallen. No problem. From today you become pure. See what happens. Purity is the force. Books are the basis. But you need to know how to act. You need books, guidance. So Prabhupada has given books. And utility is the principle. You put all the money in the banks and you start earning. You'll never touch that money. What is the use? You bury it in the ground or you put in the bank? No difference. If it is not utilized, useless. Utility is the principle. What is that? Indians, what they do? Whatever the parents give, they will not touch it. I won't add it. Another grandson, I won't add it. But the last grandson will come. My great-grandfather gave this, great-great-grandfather gave this, my father gave me this. So he'll pick up all the bad habits and pour out actually. Now I've seen this in the past. So instead utilize it for Krishna. How many of you agree? That is the value. Otherwise, what does it matter? Is it in bank or in the ground? Utilize it in Krishna's service. And very important, time is the essence. Time is running out. One day one girl is running. Cop said, hey, somebody's chasing you or what? What happened? Why are you running? She said, this fashion is changing in half an hour. Before that fashion changes, I want to wear that dress. Time is the essence. Before that fashion, this is France, for your kind of information. This girl was running in France because before that fashion changes, new fashion comes, she wants to try the dress once. What is the moral? Time is the essence. I want to try after 5 years, it doesn't work. Try today. 5 years later, who knows? You may get paralysis or the world will change also. Try today, tomorrow will never come. Tomorrow will never come. Prabhupada had that urgency in his message and in his action. And he would go and sit under Tompkins Square Park. There's a plaque. They consider this tree. This tree got the association of the purest Vaishnava on the planet Earth, Srila Prabhupada. They consider that tree as a pure devotee. And they hold a festival just because Srila Prabhupada stood under the tree for a few days. That's where it all began. The drug addicts would come and listen from him. Prabhupada did not even have a mridanga. The one hippie presented a drum that is there in Vrindavan. Prabhupada would play on that drum. Prabhupada would play on the drum. But his desire to give Krishna, a desire to make Krishna conscious. Actually, Umapati Swami, he said this. Prabhupada English was very good. We never had a problem. Prabhupada had a heavy Bengali accented English, of course, but his English was very good. We never had problem, But the only thing is his subject matter is very, very deep. Spirituality. Today we can't understand what to speak of drug addicts. But one thing we understood, this man has unlimited love for everyone. This man has so much love for everyone. He would cook for them, and he would cook for them, he would serve them, he would give the lecture. After everyone leaves, he would pick up the plates, he would trash them, and he would wash all the pots. Prabhupada made people Krishna conscious not by speaking, by feeding prasad. One day when hippie forgot something and he came back to the temple, then he was shocked to see Swamiji, the revered Swamiji, was washing pots. Indians call it vessels. He was washing that cooking vessels. Swamiji, can I help you? Wow. Yes, I'm looking for one person. One day one hippie went to one store and found, to make a chapati, you need a rolling pin. What do you call it? That wooden base and that roller. Prabhupada did not have that roller and that rolling pin. Prabhupada would make chapatis with hands. When this hippie came and brought him, Prabhupada looked at the chapati roller as a best friend. And Prabhupada, zoo, in 1 minute he would make 6 chapatis. All the Indian mothers would do that. This hippie was shocked. Wow. Because of his hard work, you want to know how Krishna, initially Krishna tested him to the core. Prabhupada went and staying in Bauri. One day, whatever little possession, that was also stolen. Krishna did not leave him. Why Krishna tested him? So that for next 10,000 years, people would read this and take inspiration. One day, one gentleman told me, Swamiji started at 70, I have a hope. I'm still 40 only. When he started the mission at 70, I have a hope. See, can you believe how many the lessons of Srila Prabhupada, like lessons from his life? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, what is that? He was singing under this. I want you to please listen before you leave. And people were attracted. He was conducting class. And he said, chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Okay, Swamiji, we need Guru. We would give lectures. So Prabhupada said, you take initiation. These Americans were a little bit hesitant. You need a Guru, I agree. But what things we need to follow? Just chant. Nothing else, nothing else. Really? Oh yeah. Just chant, that's it. Sureshwar Prabhu mentions this in Acharya series. He is a selfless compassion because he knew Americans, if you tell anything, they will not do it. It has to come from them. Sureshwar Prabhu is an American, he says this. So he initiated them somewhere August. Anyway, 3 months, that's what he said, I remember. Swamiji, what is initiation? What are the rules and regulations? Nothing, just chant. Okay. Valley became Umapati, Stephen became Satsarup, Likewise, there are 12 people were initiated. And August, September, October, 3 months. Okay, only chanting. And actually, one devotee told me he was a hippie. I don't know whether I should tell this or not. He told me, you have no idea what hippism is about. You would make friendship with the opposite sex in 5 minutes. You will go and enjoy. That's it. That is hippism, he said. So, and they would enjoy. November, one day one devotee said, Swamiji, we are chanting. Any other rules to follow? Professor, are you sure? Yes. Anything you tell, we'll follow. So we are already chanting. Prabhupada said, all right, follow this. What is success of Srila Prabhupada? He achieved this with not Indians, not elite Americans studying in Harvard and MIT. He achieved this with drug addicts. We'll definitely follow Swamiji, whatever you tell, all right. No meat eating, including onion garlic. Like a bombshell fell on your head. Next one, Swamiji. So, then they recovered, no problem. No meat eating, including onion garlic. No illicit sex. No friendship. This doesn't work. Friendship, relationship. Get married. Properly perform marriage. And no intoxication, including coffee and tea. Prabhupada created a revolution where Starbucks is so famous. Where you get a coffee, next to coffee, alcohol bottle side by side only. At least in India, the liquor shops are separate as of now. I don't guarantee for future. But America is not like that. You go to any store, they're all available. Prabhupada said, no alcoholism, including coffee and tea. I'm sure they must have felt why we asked this. And he said, no gambling. America promotes gambling all over the world. So what are the foundational pillars of America? One person who was not lazy from India and shook it with the help of not elite Americans, drug addicts and hippies. And Krishna wants to show an example, the power. That's how Krishna shows. What is the power of the holy name? Ajamil. Till last day, Ajamil was sinful. But Ajamil attained the grace. And eventually Ajamil went back to Godhead. That's the power of the holy name. If you really understand Ajamal's story, you will do it nicely. You will chant holy name every day with sincerity. If you understand Srila Prabhupada grace that flowed first in the lives of drug addicts and hippies, you will follow sincerely. You will treasure this feedback sincerely. You will treasure this process sincerely and spread this message to everyone sincerely. That's Srila Prabhupada. You know? And what he did, and once he attended that, he started Rath Yatras. Actually, what changed me? I came to New York year 2000. First week, Fifth Avenue, the richest place in the world, closed. And Rath Yatra happens. I said, oh, that's great here. I attended. The next week, Rath Yatra in New Jersey, Statue of Liberty. That is also closed, only for us. I said, this man is great. So my point is, Krishna, he started today, when I'm done, sorry, what is it? I wrote somewhere, yeah. In the night at 12 o'clock, he would get up and he would translate, which he never gave up till last day. He traveled 13 times around the globe and established 108 temples. And he spread the Lord Chaitanya's Bhakti culture around the world. His name is there in Guinness Book of Records for two reasons. One, for having written so many books on Vedic culture. Two, he started his career very late and became very successful. In 12 years, he achieved all these things. Advanced and became very, for these two reasons he is there. More than anything, scholars appreciate his Bhaktivedanta purports. The clarity, clarity of his thought and his presentation was so appreciated. And his Bhagavad Gita was converted into so many languages and probably the most widely distributed Bhagavad Gita in the world. And what he established 100 temples today, ISKCON has 750 temples. 750 number includes restaurants, educational institutions, and temples. And today, Srila Prabhupada, like for Madhva Sampradaya, Madhvacharya, Sri Sampradaya, Ramanuja, and Vishnu Swami for Rudra Sampradaya, and Nimbarka for Kumar Sampradaya. Srila Prabhupada is the founder of Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He achieved all these things in 12 years. But with the message, if you follow, he said this, you chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles, I'll take you back to Godhead. And I know at least 12 to 15 stories of people telling their relationship with Krishna, their form, and their activity in the spiritual world. And the next day they left. I have that many stories. I never got the opportunity to discuss that. But, one day probably. So he gave us a process, not just a process, spiritual process. He gave us a culture to follow. Stay where you are, but add Krishna to your life. You'll attain the perfection of life in this life, not after death. Prabhupada said Krishna ISKCON is there in the spiritual world. He said, if you are not qualified, I'll take you through the back door. Prabhupada said that. Prabhupada said that. If you are not qualified, I'll take you through the back door. This question was asked in Vrindavan. Swamiji, we are very, very impure, Going back to spiritual world is very difficult. Prabhupada, he ended his class. I told this before also. If you are 90% pure, I'll take you back to Godhead. He got up, put his chadar. If you're 80% pure, I'll take you back to Godhead. He picked up his cane, got up and said, if you're 70% pure, I'll take you back to Godhead. Then as they were about to walk, what's the next one? If you are, Prabhupada said that is too much. 70% is enough. He said that. So a person directly from spiritual world, he came with the message, eternal message of love of God, Lord Chaitanya's message. His name, that Brahma Vaivartan Puran, my mantra upasaka will come and he'll spread this message all over the world. Krishna tells Ganga Devi, they will take bath in you and they will purify you. And Chaitanya Mangal, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya says, my Senapati Bhakta will come and he'll spread the message all over the world. Srila Prabhupada is that Senapati Bhakta Lord Chaitanya mentioned, and Srila Prabhupada is that personality, Mantropasaka Krishna mentioned in Brahmavarta Puran. We all, if we become the instrument of Srila Prabhupada's compassion, take this moment forward. That is the perfection of our human life. We'll attain the perfection of life in this life. Thank you very much. Very grateful. If you are already in the process, stay in the boat. Never leave the boat. Wherever you are. But worry about others. They will also get the benefit. Prabhupada said, anybody touches my book, they get the benefit. Not to speak of reading it, not to speak of understanding it and applying it. That much he was empowered actually. One time Shuddhakirta Prabhu said this. Shuddhakirta Prabhu was massaging Srila Prabhupada's feet in the night. That's why he said, nobody wrote it. And Prabhupada started speaking. I told him. Shuddhakirta Prabhu said, whom? Krishna. I don't want to go to metal world. Really? Yeah, metal world is very difficult. Then Krishna said, no, you should go. You should write books. And the books will be law books for next 10,000 years. But again, when he was in Jaladuta, he was struggling. It is said, Prabhupada, Krishna said you can make it. But somebody devotee said actually. I don't know whether Sruti there is somebody. But Krishna said, Prabhupada said, no, I want to go and preach. Anyway, Srila Prabhupada is an empowered Shakti avatar. Came to spread this, love of God, Lord Chaitanya, message of love of God. And if we sincerely follow, we'll attain the perfection.